Let's see. Okay. So we got YouTube over here, TikTok over here, live streaming, double live streaming. We love to see it. All right. You're going to definitely need to put this on your timeline. You're going to definitely need to share this live. You're definitely going to want to stick around for the replay on YouTube. You definitely want to hear this conversation. So this is going to be some really, really powerful information. Those of you who have been watching, have been looking, have been asking questions, this is the conversation that you need to hear the most. So I am live streaming on TikTok and YouTube right now. So just be mindful when you're asking questions that I'm going back and forth between devices. Let's see. Welcome if you're just joining us. Hello. Over here on TikTok and YouTube. Hello. Welcome in. Today's conversation is definitely going to point you in the right direction. So put this information on your timeline, share this in the group chat, share this with your girlfriends, right? Make sure you put your earbuds on if you at work and you sneak in on TikTok, you sneak in on YouTube, because we are going to have a very important conversation today. As today's title suggests, we're talking about, for those of you who are watching on TikTok or watching on YouTube on another device, we are talking about why you cannot find subs. So many of you guys continue to ask me. I know we have had, for you guys on YouTube, we've had this conversation plenty of times before. And some of the reasons that as a new Dom, why you're struggling with finding your ideal clientele, how to identify who that is, and knowing the difference between the men that you're interacting with now and some of the more common folks that we have in our industry versus your ideal client. So YouTube folks, we have definitely talked about this before, so I know that you guys are revisiting this conversation. If you have some questions, you can ask here. Again, and if you're already a student of mine, this will be a revisit of that conversation as well. For those of you who are here with me on TikTok, if you're just tuning in for the first time, welcome. Like I said, definitely like this live, share this live, save this live, follow us here on TikTok. And we'll be asking some of your questions as well for those of you who are brand new to financial domination, brand new to the industry, and you guys are still struggling with understanding who your ideal client is, how to establish a client base, how to focus on client retention versus clout chasing, and again, identifying the time wasters from the folks that you really want to invest your time into as a professional dominatrix. So put this information, like I said, on your timeline, or share this in a group chat, or share this live in some way, shape, or form. We definitely want as many people in here as possible when the conversation starts, because I'm not going to repeat most of the conversation. So you need to be here for it now so that we can get into it. I'm not going to repeat certain parts of today's conversation. You will have to join me on YouTube for the replay. But however, once we get into once we get a certain a part of this conversation takes a certain time frame, like I said, 5-10 minutes from now, I'm not going to go back and start over. So definitely get as many people in here as possible. If you and your girlfriend have been talking about financial domination, now's the time to really say, okay, are we serious? Now's the time to join this live. Now's the time to ask some questions. Now's the time to get the assistance that you need. So welcome. If you guys are just joining us, let me know where you're tuning in from. Are you in the States with us? Are you in East West Africa? Are you in Canada? Are you in the United Kingdom with some of our other students who are already in all of those places? Are you in Brazil? Are you in South America like all of our other students? These are some of the places our students already are. Where are you tuning in from if you are tuning in from TikTok? If you're tuning in from TikTok, where are you tuning in from? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So we got a couple of people joining us just now. Again, where are you guys tuning in from? Can everybody hear me okay? Audio okay? Okay, hey Texas in the building, DC in the building, welcome. Anybody else? Where are you guys tuning in from? Where are you guys tuning in from before we get started in today's conversation? Where are you tuning in from? Alabama, New York, okay, Jersey, all right, hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you, lovely Lisa, for sharing. Washington, welcome, welcome, welcome. As we continue to get more people in the room, again, the questions will continue to come in. But like I said, I'm giving you a chance to share this with your girlfriends before we go ahead and move forward, because I'm not going to go backwards. So go ahead and share this in the group chat with your girlfriends. Go ahead and get this out in the group chats, and then we're going to go ahead and get started. So again, as today's title suggests, we're talking about why you cannot find subs. And then, TikTok only allows you to, have your caption be but so long. So the real title for YouTube and for TikTok, the real title of today's video and conversation is why you can't find genuine subs as a new Dom. Why you can't find genuine subs as a new Dom. Now, for those of you who are new to financial domination altogether, you may have had a lot of confusing different information. I know that although the AfroDomme Network is the oldest and the largest platform, hey Toronto, I know that our community, the AfroDomme Network, is the largest and oldest platform in this industry specifically. Since 2019, we are no longer, however, the only folks teaching. We are the oldest, we are the first, but we are no longer the only. So there are some other small groups and stuff like that and clubs that are teaching financial domination. I'm sure you have seen about it. If you haven't heard about it here first, you've seen things on TikTok, you've seen things on Twitter, you've seen things on YouTube. However, let me make it very, very clear that the information that you have learned outside of this network, outside of this live, outside of me, I want you to be really, really careful about the way that you think about today's conversation. I want you to take notes and I want you to ask the right kind of questions. But I want you to be really, really intentional about the conversation that we're having today. By definition, financial domination is the dom sub act of exchanging power through monetary gifts. Right? By definition, that's what it means. The dom sub act, this is a small sector or specific niche or sub niche, you should say, of BDSM relationships, kink based relationships, dom sub relationships. And like I said, financial domination is the act, it's a verb, to be financially dominated, right? Or to be a financial dominatrix. The definition is the dom sub act of exchanging power through monetary gifts. Monetary gifts could be cash. Monetary gifts could be gift cards. Monetary gifts could be businesses, investments. Monetary gifts could be clothes, shoes, purses, vacations. That is the definition of financial domination. This is not about bullying men. This is not about being mean. This is not about cursing and screaming and being ratchet. This is not about doing this on the internet, showing that on the internet. This is not about looking a specific way, acting a specific way, talking a specific way. This is not about being interested in specific things, hardcore domination versus wearing pleaser high heels or not wearing pleaser high heels, showing your face or not showing your face. The definition of financial domination is the dom sub act of exchanging power through monetary gifts. Nothing more and nothing less. And the reason that I'm sharing this definition with you is, like I said, as the first and oldest organization to provide education to the financial dominatrix community, there are varying pieces of information that you'll see out there about what this is and what this isn't. Some women feel like what we do in our industry isn't spicy work, for lesser words. However, right? Some women feel like financial domination to them, just because, again, they're only getting money or exchanging power with men through these monetary gifts, that it's not sexual or sexual to them. But just because you do not feel like what you're doing as a financial dominatrix is sexual, that does not mean that it is not, in fact, spicy work, smex work, because it is. It's not an opinion. It's not a personal choice. It is. It's a part of a very specific niche of a very specific industry. And that industry is adult entertainment, right? So if you, for whatever religious and moral and personal beliefs, feel like, oh, I could never be a part of adult entertainment, or whatever religious, moral, and personal beliefs you've had over the last several years, you've said, oh, I don't respect strippers. I don't respect cam girls. I don't respect escorts. I don't respect prostitutes, the girls that walk up and down Garrison Boulevard all day long. If you, in your life or in your family's life or in the way that you were raised or the society that you live in, the community and the culture that you've been around, has always said or always had some type of moral objection or personal objection or religious objection around adult entertainment, adult work, this is what this is. And the reason why the conversation and the honesty and the transparency needs to be had before you learn anything else is because, again, a lot of people with no experience, keyword no experience or not enough experience, find it very easy, or find it easier, I should say. They find it easier to jump on here and tell y'all a bunch of bullshit and say that it is this and it's not that, so that they can go viral, they can get clicks, they can get likes, they can get follows, retweets, clout, whatever. They can get you to buy some type of ebook or take some type of class with them because, I mean, shade goes where shade belongs, but a lot of girls see what I've done over the last few years single-handedly as a coach and an advocate for this community, and they think because I make it look easy that it is easy. And a lot of those girls tend to allude to now teaching instead of actually doing. And that's become a very popular thing to do in any industry that I've seen over the last few years, because as a businesswoman myself, outside of financial domination, I own multiple businesses. I own a retail business and I also own a business in the trucking industry. And what's become really popular over the last several years, especially during COVID, is the importance of digital marketing and making passive income through digital marketing and social media. So for some reason, it's become really, really popular to sell classes and coaching and books and things, right? However, just because it's popular to sell classes and books and do digital marketing doesn't mean everybody needs to be fucking doing it. And that's word. Everybody's not qualified. Not everybody has enough credentials. Not everybody has enough experience. And not everybody needs to be doing it, point blank, period. So for someone like me, the reason that I started the AfroDomme Network so many years ago is because there was no one who looked like me, talked like me, act like me, dressed like me, looked like me, that was teaching financial domination or domination, period. I was excluded from communities. I was blacklisted from spaces, not because I had done something, but because I was new. I was called, back then, my class now, and that's the power of Being able to realize and understand that you don't have to fight for a seat at someone else's table and you can create your own. The term that I use now for my classes, my mentorship, is Instadom. In 2017, the term Instadom was not a compliment. It was a slur. It was someone calling you an Instadom was kind of the same thing as them calling you a bitch. You're new, you don't know what you're doing, you're an Instadom, you're not going to be successful. What else did they tell me? They told me I couldn't do it because I was plus size. They told me I couldn't do it because I wore my natural hair. They told me I couldn't do it because I was black. They told me I couldn't do it because white girls will always make more than us and have more opportunities, and you have to be 3 times as good to get ahead. All of the shit that the world has always told black women, right? And as someone who has always defied all of those odds, and not only has succeeded but mega succeeded, grossing 6 and now going up to 7 figures in financial domination, and not off of coaching, off of actual work, I know that there are other mentors that I have outside of this industry as well who, can speak to the same things. Becoming a coach and consultant and being an educator in a community is popular, but not everybody has the credentials to do it. And as someone who's been in this industry long enough, those of you who know me on YouTube, or you know me from Twitter, or you know me from the many years I've already been in this industry, you guys also know that I've spent a lot of time advocating for the safety of our community as well. And I've spent a lot of time holding other communities, other coaches, other organizations, other sororities, holding all of those people accountable publicly. You know that I've held all of those different places accountable publicly for ensuring that they were creating safe spaces for their students to learn. They are respecting the truth and honesty of the women in their areas and uplifting the women in their areas. And then 3, when shit was raggedy and I had thousands of people, not a few hundred, but when I had thousands of people approaching me and telling me that they were the victims of sexual assault and harassment and fraud from different clubs and groups and organizations and sororities, that I again publicly held all of those individuals to a certain level of accountability that they needed to attest to. Now, whether on their own they took accountability for those things and handled it, that's something else. But as someone who's been in this community for such a long time, I'm going into my 8th year of being in this industry this upcoming March of 2025. And as someone who cares, as someone who has created a safe space, and as someone who has over 5,000 students in this safe space, I will continue to spread the truth and to be really transparent about what this industry is and how you can get started in an industry like this while protecting yourself, while staying safe, while networking with like-minded women, bitches that's not weird, and giving you the real, honest truth, whether it's good or bad, about the industry and the community that you're getting into. Because whether you were doing this form of entrepreneurship or a different form of entrepreneurship, it would still require the same amount of work from you. It would still require the same amount of work from you. So, like I said, sticking to today's conversation specifically, and then I'm going to open the floor for questions. And you can, tune in as you are, listening in if there's a specific question that comes to mind based on the topic of where we are or something like that. No, I do not accept messages here on TikTok. All of my contact information is in the link in my bio. And then if you are already an existing student, you would privately already have a point of contact to access me as well. If you were already a student, there's already a given point of contact for me to have my telephone number. If you're already a student, that information is given to you when you become a student, when you first sign up. After you sign up, the next page is my contact information for existing students. So going on today's topic, why you can't find genuine subs as a new Dom. One of the many reasons that a lot of new Doms, and I'm saying this because I've done these things myself. I'm saying this because, I've gone through that phase of being a new Dom, figuring it out, struggling online, meeting subs, yes, but not meeting the right ones, or subs that were time wasters. I've experienced subs that weren't necessarily the right fit for me. It was cool at first, and it got weird. I've cut subs off. I've had men that approach me that are very racist, very sexist. I've seen it all. And I've also coached my students through those experiences as well. One of the reasons that many new Doms struggle with finding clients is one, because they don't necessarily have a clear picture in mind of who their ideal submissive is. A lot of people come into financial domination with this understanding of, financial domination is, getting paid to be cute, or being mean to men, or bullying men, or scamming men, or something like that. So all I have to do is take pictures of my feet, or say, fuck you, pay me, or make a verification video, or make a menu with all of the different kind of services that I offer, or all of the different dollar amounts that he could possibly send me to pay my rent. That's all I have to do. And then I'll post my Cash App and I'll get paid. That is not how this works. So unfortunately, when you come into the community with that level of understanding, you hit a roadblock because you, one, already don't have the necessary information, and then two, you're moving from a place of resistance. Your net is too big, if that makes sense, right? So when it comes to like manifestation, for example, for those of you who are really spiritual, when it comes to manifestation, when you're speaking to the universe, when you're talking to your ancestors, when you are speaking affirmations, you have to be very specific about what you want. You can't say, oh, I want to be successful. Right? What would that kind of success look like specifically? You have to be very, very specific when you're manifesting. The same thing goes for finding your ideal audience and your ideal clientele. So right now, when I say, who is your ideal client or who is your ideal submissive, if you just say any person that can send you $100, that means you're going to open yourself up to literally any person with $100. That person could be a racist. That person could be transphobic. That person could be a pedophile. That person could be extremely dangerous. That person could put you in a dangerous situation. That person could ask you to do things that you're not comfortable with doing. But again, if you haven't clarified that those are not the 6 different things that you wouldn't want, and all you said was any person with $100, if you're desperate enough, especially if you're going through something that is pushing you here to make money in an urgent sense, right? You're moving from a place of survival. And sometimes when we're in that mental state, we don't allow ourselves to see the red flags because we're not worried about, well, what if this person's dangerous? What if this person's weird? What if this person tracks my IP address and shows up to my job? What if somebody finds out that I'm doing this and I get fired because I'm not protecting myself the right way? What if I lose access to my bank account with thousands of dollars in it and now I can't get that money back? You're not thinking about all of those things. If you're in a state of panic or worry or stress or survival, or I saw this and I needed to make some money, or I saw this and I saw that other people are making 6-7 figures at this and I just want to hurry up and figure out how to do it, you're going to open yourself to potentially dangerous people and situations that you don't want to be in. And because the money's coming, you're just going to take it. You can't take everything that people give you. You cannot take everything that people give you. And every man, whether he can pay the bill or not, is not going to be the right one for you. And no, you're not dating this person. You don't have to get married to this person. You don't even have to talk to this person every day. Shit, you don't even have to talk to this person every month. You could talk to this person every 6 months. You could talk to this person once a year. As long as the money's rolling in, that's really what matters. However, if you're corrupting your morals, beliefs, and values, you're doing things that you don't really want to do, or you're being someone that's not natural to you, you're check chasing, you're clout chasing, you're not going to be happy. You're going to be miserable, and you're gonna put yourself in situations that do not honor you, and that men will take advantage of you in that sense. Absolutely they will. Because at the end of the day, whether you are in your 20s like me, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, because there's no age limit or age maximum that, you know what I'm saying, that you can't do this. There's people doing financial domination that are 80 years old. There are people doing financial domination that are 21. You got to be at least 21. But I mean, 21 till the day you die, there's nothing stopping you from doing that, right? If you're in your early 20s, early 30s, the men most commonly that you will be meeting are going to be older than you. And a man that's older than you, whether you think you hot shit or not, a man that's older than you will absolutely know how to take advantage of you. Especially if he can see at 86 that you 23, you in college, you don't have no money, you don't have no credit, you in student loan debt, you have a shitty apartment, your boyfriend or your baby daddy don't help you do shit, you new to financial domination, you don't know what you're doing, you don't have no education, you got a nasty attitude, and you desperate for some money. All of that's going to be real clear to him. And all he'll have to do is dangle whatever minimum tribute, because a lot of y'all do that as well. And a lot of other girls who are coaches and claim to be, I should say, claim to be coaches and mentors. A lot of other organizations and groups and stuff like that, they teach you to put a minimum tribute in your bio, or have a minimum tribute, or create a McDonald's ass menu where you have JOI $100, CBT $200, pay my rent $50. They teach you to do that. And that, again, 86-year-old man who has been around in this world much longer than you, he gonna clock that shit and say, you know what? She desperate for $50. Let me go dangle that in her face. Let me go pump her head full of fucking air. And let me go get off for the cheap. Because I can tell she don't know what she doing. And she gonna be happy and joyous. In fact, she might even jump over fucking hoops for my $50. And that's what happens. That's how you get taken advantage of. Those are the men that you meet in your first year, 2 years of financial domination, when you don't know any better. And they're gonna be perverts. They're gonna ask you to do shit you're not comfortable with. They're going to do things that you're not comfortable with. Even if you're not doing anything to them, they want you to watch. Right? Your ideal client is not going to be any random guy with $100. This needs to be a very specific person. You want to think about your ideal client and describing your ideal client as if he was standing right next to you and you were introducing him to me at a party. Like, hey sis, who is this? Oh, this is my sub. Name. He is this age. He does this for a living. He contributes this to me. These are the things that we enjoy together. These are his personal hobbies, his fears, his weaknesses. And this is who he is. And if you don't have a clear understanding of who that kind of man is, you will continue to attract anybody but that. Even the safest of men, because I'm not going to say that every single person, every single sub that you come across as a new dom is going to be a dangerous person, or is going to be disingenuous, or is not going to be a serious person or a serious candidate, someone you should invest your time into. But what I am saying is you need to have a clear understanding of that. And even the ones who are well behaved, who are respectful, who do send more, who are kind and courteous and respect your boundaries and things like that, they actually want to build a relationship with you. That also doesn't mean just because he's not egregious that he's the right person either. Because what if he racist? What if he's secretly a racist? Or it's just not a good fit? Or he's extremely needy? Or he tops from the bottom? And for those of you who are new, topping from the bottom, unless you already a part of the BLT community, and you know what I'm talking about, BLT, the bacon, lettuce, tomato community, unless you already a part of it and you know what I say when I say topping from the bottom, that means he's supposed to be the submissive. Now, the submissive in your dom sub dynamic does have the most power, sure. Your submissive and your dom sub dynamic will have more power. Why? Because they have the ability to remove consent at any time. However, topping from the bottom is not the same as having that power to remove consent at any time. Topping from the bottom looks like you're supposed to do what the fuck I told you to do. And instead of doing what the fuck I told you to do, you fucked it up so that you could get punished because that's what you wanted. You're weaponizing your incompetence because you're trying to control the situation. So if I told my sub, get in here and clean the floor on your hands and knees with a scrub brush, and he does it, and he walks in with a bucket full of hot ass water, and he purposely drops the fucking bucket all over the floor to get a reaction out of me that would make me punish him. That's topping from the bottom. Take it how it resonates. You don't want somebody to do that. Because at the end of the day, that person's also, even if they play in the right role and they're saying the right things, and again, you're new, so they pumping your fucking head up, pumping your ego up, so your ego does not allow you to see that this person's full of shit, you'll still get taken advantage of. And then by the time you realize you've been taken advantage of, you now have an unhealthy dynamic with this sub. Or you are a financial dominatrix, and because your shit is raggedy and you don't have a business plan, let's say, for example, a business plan, a marketing strategy, the necessary documentation to protect yourself as a businesswoman. And let's say, for example, a sub, you get up to the point where subs are now buying you things. You got subs that's paying your rent. You got subs that's paying your car note. You got subs that's helping you buy business inventory. You got subs that are investing in you to a major extent. But let's say, for example, you're not business savvy enough to know that if he is giving you those things, you need to have it put in your name. You're not business savvy enough to know that. So he got you a car, and it's in his name. And you've had this car for a year. And the exchange for the car is that every now and then y'all do a session. But again, because you're not business savvy enough, or you're not surrounded by the right kind of people who are, let's say now he's been paying this car note for you for a year, everything's been fine. But now all of a sudden he's asking you to do things that you're not comfortable with. And if you say no, he's now threatening to take that fucking car back from you. You either going to do it and put yourself in, again, an unhealthy dynamic and situation, dangerous situation, or you're going to lose your car. And I don't know about you guys, but as someone who's not business savvy enough to know to put a car in their name, probably don't have a car otherwise, or the ability to get a car without a sub. Which means you gonna be the bitch as a Findom on the internet. You gonna be the bitch that went from having a G-Wagon to taking the bus. You gonna be the bitch that got a sub to pay for her skyrise apartment, and then the sub got found out by his wife, and going through a divorce, and in the process you got the boot, and now you getting evicted because you can't afford the skyrise apartment on your own, while the sub handles this messy ass divorce and ain't got no money. You don't want that. You don't want that. You don't want that. So again, one of the reasons, and I'll reiterate, one of the reasons that new doms can't find and struggle to find genuine submissives is because they don't actually know who it is they should be talking to. Who is it that you're technically targeting when you're posting clips and content on Twitter? Who is it that you're technically targeting when you're tweeting on Twitter as a dom and posting pictures as a dom? Who's the audience? It's not just any person. It's not just any kind of man. It could be black, they could be white, they could be Asian, they could be Indian, but it's going to be a specific type of person. What does this person like? Hobbies, right? Does this person have kids? Are they married? What kind of work do they do? How much money do they make a year? How much money are they able to send you on a monthly basis? What do you do with the money that they send you? What kind of things do you talk about when you're not doing sessions and the slaps and the jiggles? When you're not doing all of that, what kind of things do you talk about? What kind of chemistry do you have with this person? How does this person talk to you? How does this sub treat you? What are things that he does for you? What are expectations that you have of him to do for you? Because if you leave all of this to interpretation, you're going to be running in fucking circles for years. And one of the reasons why even though I'm very new, I've only been in this industry for 7 years. But the reason that I've been able to have so much success very, very quickly is because I knew from day one, well, not really day one, because I didn't take it that serious until year 2. But after year 2, when I started taking it serious, that became my day one. And at that day one, I knew I had to be very intentional about who I was looking for, what I wanted, and what I was going to accept and what I was not going to accept. All of the men that you guys see on Twitter and on here every time they in my comments and I go through and block them and stuff like that. The men that you see on Twitter, the men that you see on here, I'm looking for an honest sugar baby. DM me. I'm a pay pig. I'm looking for a dom. I'm going to send a dom some money. Who can I send money to? All of those men that slide in your DMs, they try to talk to you for 5 or 10 minutes. Some of y'all dumb enough to actually start talking to them for 5 or 10 minutes. And then you be on a timeline like, oh my God, he scammed me. He's a time waster. No, he's not. You didn't have to respond, and you did because you thought he was going to send you some money, but he didn't. And you talked to him for free. That's your fault. You wasted your own time. Those men don't contact me. My DMs are quiet. My DMs are silent. My DMs are actually from me talking to other doms. Men don't contact me on Twitter or DM me on Twitter, even though they have the option to, because they know I'm not going to fucking respond. The only way for a man to get in contact with me is to call me on my paywall platform where they have to pay me $5.99 per minute to do so. Or is to buy a piece of content from me. And in that instance, they're not necessarily contacting me and speaking to me through that content or because they bought that clip. However, that's the only way they get to interact with me. So there's some men who can't afford to talk to me at $5.99 per minute. That's not my fucking problem. So, otherwise, the only way that they are able to engage with me is buying content, pay-per-view content, $15.99, $19.99, $24.99, $29.99. That's how much my 5, 10, 15-minute videos cost. $30 for a 5-minute video, pre-recorded, of me doing whatever I wanted on camera, talking shit, smoking, showing off my nails when I got a fresh pedicure, doing like this, so it, the ASMR, whatever it is that I'm doing on camera. I'm a grown ass woman, mind your business. But I'm selling it at $29.99 for the 5-minute video. And no, you can't download it and save it to your device. It's only on there one time after you pay for it. Pay per view. Like old school HBO, but pay per view. Men who can't afford to pay $5.99 per minute to talk to me will only be able to interact with me through watching pre-recorded videos at $20, $30 per view. Otherwise, they can book a Skype session with me at $250 an hour. And then other real-time sessions and stuff like that I typically do, that I can't talk about on TikTok and I won't talk about on YouTube, go as high as $100,000. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to contact me at all unless you have already upfront paid the price. And by gatekeeping, paywalling myself, this is how, as a financial dominatrix and a professional dominatrix, I've been able to scale myself to 6-7 figures in a matter of 7 years. Most people don't last that long doing this. Most businesses, statistically speaking, don't last that long, right? Statistically speaking, no business, whether it's this or that, lasts between 3 to 5 years. Most of them fail within the first 3 to 5 years. I've been in this industry for 7, and I've been relevant the whole time and profitable the whole time. So thank you for in the comments. I appreciate y'all. Goddess Regina, appreciate it. They can't contact me unless they've already paid the price. This is how I avoid wasting my time. This is how I avoid scammers. This is how I avoid low-value men, budget ballers, cheap chucks, unemployed Urkels, frugal Frank. You don't want to talk to none of them. So one of y'all just asked, is $50 too much? You can't even buy groceries with $50. So $50 is not too much. $50 ain't fucking enough. Think about it right now. What can you do with $50 besides go to the dispensary and get an eighth? You can't even put gas in the car to get to the dispensary to buy said $50 eighth with just $50. And if you got a nice car that's not a bucket and you want more than just regular gas in your car every now and then, you need more than $50 to put a full tank of gas in your car. And unless you live in a 400 square foot apartment with no TV, you never use any electricity, and you don't have no kids, your light bill not even $50. People going to McDonald's and getting fake ass burgers for $50. You can't even fill up a your grocery basket in your fridge with $50. You need $50 to go get some bread, some lunch meat, some paper plates, and some chips. Again, you need $50 to go get bread, lunch meat, paper plates, and chips. Not even the bev. Or the gas that it's going to take to get to the grocery store and back. And the 5-10 cents for the bag. And I'm not clowning you for saying that. I'm just saying because the conversation for me has always been financial domination at its core. All right, y'all be fine. Financial domination at its core is the dom-sub act of exchanging power through monetary gifts. You can't do anything these days for $50. You just can't. So $50 is not enough. $50 is budget balling. $50 is chump change. You know what I'm saying? At minimum, and I don't use the word minimum tribute. Some of you asked in the comments earlier, and I did see it because I was waiting for the time to bring it up. You don't put a minimum in your bio. You should not be moving from that perspective. Because at the end of the day, everything that you say out of your mouth is marketing. So if you say, I'm a financial dominatrix and my minimum tribute is $100, you're marketing the fact that you're a budget dom, a budget financial dominatrix in a $1 billion industry, billion with a B. And you're also marketing the fact that you allow men to do the bare minimum for you. Take it how it resonates. It's not a drag. It's not shady on purpose. But that's the reality. You might need to hear it that way for you to feel it. If you have the words minimum tribute in your bio, what you are subconsciously saying, even if you don't realize what you're saying, is that you allow men to do the bare minimum for you. Because think about it this way. I'm a potential sub. I'm looking at your page. It's Friday, 7 p.m., 95 degrees. I got $10,000 in my pocket. Okay. I got $10,000 in my pocket as a sub. And I just so happen to come across your fine ass, because it's not that you ugly. Nobody said that. It's not that you're not putting the work in. So like I said, I got $10,000 in my pocket. I'm a sub. I'm on your page. You fine as hell. But guess what? I'm a man at the end of the day, baby. And I worked hard as a man to be rich enough to have a kink for giving my money away to hot girls. I'm not no dummy. I'm not just going to give my money away. Financial domination ain't a charity case. But I got $10,000 in my pocket and I'm ready to blow. But guess what? Your little fine ass just told me that you would do the same thing for 10,000 that somebody else would do for the whole 10,000. You just told me you was going to do it for 50. So guess what? Oh, baby, I ain't got it like that. I just got the $50 for you. I just got the $50 for you. I ain't got it like that. He gonna lie to your fucking face. Why? You already told him it was okay. You already told him it was okay. You might not have said it directly, but when he read minimum tribute $50, that's what he heard, because that's what you said. So we do not do on this side of financial domination, the whole other side, the whole other world of financial domination, all these other clubs and groups and sororities and places and things and elite this and Findom that. All of that shit is a different side of this industry. On this side of the world, where me and my students is making $1,000 a day, $15,000 a month, getting businesses, getting cars, getting vacations, getting rent paid, bills paid, inventory, business inventory paid for, business credit cards, business opportunities, getting our debt, student loan debts and stuff like that paid off. That's what's possible. On this side of the world, we don't do that. We don't use the term minimum tribute at all. Of course, I have a few set fees, right? I do have a few set fees or rates. But let's say, for example, like I said earlier, a Skype session with me is $250 an hour. That's a set rate. But when you go to my social media page, you're not going to see anything on there that says minimum. Send me the minimum of $50. Send me the minimum of this or that, and I'll still be able to talk to you. And I'll still interact with you in some type of way. You don't want, just like you said, Jasmine, you're not here for fucking lunch and coffee. You're not here looking for subs to pay you to get some McDonald's or to buy you a $7 cup of coffee at Starbucks. You're here for something much more valuable because that's what these kind of men are capable of doing. Think about it. When you have that clearer picture of your ideal client, because I know some of y'all should be taking notes, right? So, we talking about land, we talking about all this other shit. Some of y'all taking notes, right? I hope so. When you were thinking about who your ideal client was it the motherfucker that bought you Burger King or the one that paid off your $45,000 student loan? Cash. Quickly. Was it the one that could only give you $20 a week? Or was it in your mind, or the man you're seeing in your mind? Think about it for a second. Close your eyes if you need to. When you think of your ideal submissive and what you want to create for yourself as a dom, is the man that you're seeing before you only capable of giving you $20 a week, $100 a week, $500 a month? Or is he capable of buying you a $2 million house in your name? Or is he capable of putting you on a private jet and sending you on vacation somewhere while he sit in the house? Okay, is I'm on here? Okay, sorry about that. Somebody called me. But anyway, see, now they done thrown off what the fuck I was talking about. Basically, is it a cheap motherfucker like the ones that you already been dealing with in your normal life? Because a lot of y'all come in here and y'all got boyfriends and y'all got baby daddies and you got all of these Negroes around you that don't do shit for you. Keep it a bean. Because if your boyfriend and your baby daddy was doing what he needed to do, you wouldn't be worried about financial domination or how to find a sugar daddy. Let's keep it a buck. Especially if you in a relationship. If you single, then you just out here doing your little thing. Live your life. But if you in a relationship watching this video, it's more than likely, you ain't got to tell us in the comments. But if you in a relationship watching this video and you ain't cheating, you like in a relationship and you watching this video, it's more than likely because that nigga can't fucking do it. And a part of you knows that you need to find somebody else to do it for you. Because he can't. Is he gonna like that? Probably not. Is that your problem? Not really. Because what you here to get is the information so that you can get another nigga to do it. Right or wrong? Right. So let me give it to you. Financial domination is the dom sub act of exchanging power through monetary gifts. You need to have a clear crystal picture of who that is, what he talks about, what you talk about, what that motherfucker look like. You need to tell me what kind of cologne that motherfucker wears, which arm he wear the watch on, and what kind of watch it is, what kind of shoes he wear, and what size the fucking shoes is. You need to dress that motherfucker top to bottom. And it may seem like a stretch, but the clearer picture that you have, the easier it will be for you to find him in the crowd. And you won't have these conversations of, well, how do I find subs? Where do I find subs? Anywhere. When you're truly a woman that aligns with your divine feminine energy, and you really naturally embody that like dominant energy that you need to embody as a financial dominatrix, you find these men on Twitter. You can find them at the gas station. You can find them at Target. You can find them at the grocery store, the post office. Any man can be your sub as long as he fits the bill and can pay the bill. Get where I'm going with this? So it's not about where do I find them, how do I get them to send. it goes back to you. Who am I looking for? And does this person fit it? Yes or no? And you have to be willing to say, no, he doesn't. Even if he's giving you the right money, he doesn't fit the bill. And you need to be able to walk away. Because not all money is good money in this industry. Some girls do shit just because they see somebody else doing it. Right? And I use this example a lot, and it's never any shade to this creator, but a lot of y'all know who Miss B Nasty is. This is no shade to her at all. I'm just using it as an example. A lot of y'all know who Miss B Nasty is. If you do, let me know in the comments. If you don't, maybe Google it when you by yourself. Because shout out to her. Some people look at this level of success that Miss B Nasty has had and say, I'm going to do that because that's what she's doing and that's how she became rich, wealthy, successful. But she's doing that because that's what aligns with her. She feels comfortable. She feels confident in what the fuck she's doing. She's a grown-ass woman. Like I said, it's no shade, no disrespect to her. I'm just using it as an example. She wants to do it, and she does the things that she does. For example, in her car, she does those things because that's what she wants to do. But if you are unsure of yourself and you desperate and your boyfriend ain't cutting it and you need your hair done and your bills paid and you just a clout chasing bitch, you're going to say, well, I'm just going to go where the money is and I'm just going to do what she did because, I mean, shit, it worked for her, so I want to do the same thing. You don't want to put yourself in that kind of predicament. Because again, if you're not passionate about what it is that you're doing, or if it doesn't come naturally to you that you enjoy doing what you're doing, it's going to be really obvious. And you're also going to burn yourself out, right? Because this is not about just finances. This is about mind, body, spirit. You're going to burn yourself out because now you're doing a bunch of shit that you don't want to really be doing. You going, like what most girls do is, do I have to show my face? What if I hide my face? And you're not hiding your face because you think you ugly. You hiding your face because you're doing something that you know you're not supposed to be doing. You can't stand 10 toes on a decision, so you want to hide your face. You want to be the no face, no case girl. I'm clocking it because I've done it. I'm clocking it because I've seen it happen. All of new doms start like that. It's the new dom starter pack. The new dom starter pack is, I just heard about financial domination. I made my Twitter and a Cash App. I'm scared to show my face, so I'm not going to show my face, and I'm only going to show my titties and my butt, or I'm going to just do foot content on OnlyFans for $5. That's the new dumb starter pack. I'm going to make a verification video. I'm going to say, fuck you, pay me. I'm going to say, hashtag pay pig. I'm going to say, give me your money, damn it. I'm going to say financial domination is oversaturated. Ain't no subs out here. I'm going to get burnt out in 90 days and I'm going to give the fuck up. That's the new Dom starter pack. Out of 5,000 students, 5,000 plus students, it's not one girl that ain't started from zero and done every single fucking thing I just said. Please, it's a Friday. Stop doing this. You needed to hear it. You needed to hear it because otherwise, if I said it a different way, it would have went over your head. You got to start from somewhere. It's no shade, but I just seen you do it. I just seen it. You're going to have a minimum tribute of $50. Then you're going to increase it to $100. Then you're going to have an unblocked fee. Then you're going to start doing spin the wheel games. Then you're going to put up a tribute menu. Then you're going to get on I Want Clips and start making some content with your little tripod. You're going to go through all of that. I done seen it. Then once you start realizing, oh snap, if I'm gonna do foot content, that means I gotta get my feet done every week. I ain't making enough money for that. Let me start figuring out how I can be a little bit more comfortable on camera. Now you more comfortable on camera. Now you posting little videos, little things, little this, little that. Mm-hmm. Now you trying all the different apps and you want that life. I done seen it all. That's just that's just how it is. I've done it. I've done it multiple times. I've seen people do it. It's funny because it's true. But the question is, like you just said, Goddess in the comments, how do you skip all of that bullshit? Education. Getting a clear understanding from day one. Okay, I'm gonna give you your edges back. Here go the edges, and here go some miracle drops to help you get your edges back. Okay, the miracle drops and the gems. Who is your ideal audience? Let's sit down and create a business plan. How long do you see yourself doing this, and what kind of things do you see yourself creating? Do you see yourself doing this for the next 3 years, or until you graduate from college and pay off your student loans? Do you see yourself doing this for the rest of your life and quitting your 9 to 5 to do this 40 hours a week instead? Are you going to write erotica ebooks and find, your ideal subs through books? Because when you pictured your ideal submissive, it was someone who liked to read. Men like to read. The rich ones like to read. Now, don't get confused. Now, all of them ain't dumb and ain't shit. Most of them ain't shit. Most of them dumb, but not all of them. They dumb in certain categories. I should say that. Some of them dumb about other stuff, but when it comes to the money and business, they smart as hell, but then they dumb with everything else. In your ideal vision, was this a man who likes to read? And if so, are you going to now target him in your marketing and business strategy by you writing books as an erotica so that you can, find him that way or make money that way as passive income? Is this someone that enjoys traveling? So now you as a Dom in your business plan, you are someone who intends every month to go on some type of new vacation in a new state or a new country so that you can constantly be around all of these other kinds of men that like to travel just like you. Are you going to create streams of income for yourself, like having pay-per-view content and stuff like that as a content creator, so that 5, 10, next month, next week, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years from now, you're still profiting off of all of the hard work that you're doing right now, day one? Right now, in my year 7, I'm selling clips that I made in 2019, 2016, I'm 17, 2018. I made the clip in 1 hour several years ago for a certain amount of money. And because I make other types of content over the last several years, my popularity has grown, but those individual clips still sell. I no longer have to do the work to make money off of that. It's just something that happens in the background. And now I have, deposits every day, every week in my account from the sales that I'm making, so that I don't have to go clock in at a 9 to 5 anymore. I don't have to constantly be on social media or always be trying to book an online session or a real-time session. I can say, you know what? I did a real-time session this week. I have an online session on Saturday. I want to take the rest of the week off. I still have money coming in because of my clips, because of my books, because of all of these other income streams I have in the background, because of my monthly subscription site, because of this, because of that. So when you move from that level of understanding, that level of intention, that level of planning, this is how you avoid all of the nonsense, all of the new Dom starter pack, the drama, the fucking up the money, not asking for enough money, leaving money on the table, wasting your time with subs that aren't necessarily the right fit for you. That's how you avoid it. That's how you put yourself ahead of thousands of other people who are trying to do the same thing you're trying to do. Right now it's 47 of y'all on here. Earlier it was 60. Think about it. Out of the 47 of y'all that's on here, think about 47 other girls that's somewhere else trying to figure out how to do the same thing you're trying to do. If you want to put yourself, all 47 of y'all that's in here right now, you want to put yourself ahead of those other girls that's somewhere else, this is how you do it. And it's not about, oh, I'm in competition with somebody. but it's about moving with strategy. And when you move with this level of strategy, you're not in competition. However, what you have done is created your own lane and you set up some blockers so that it's you right here, it's all of these other girls right here, all these other girls right here, but you right here. Y'all all moving forward in the same direction, but you have the ability to move at a faster pace because you've carved out a path for yourself that none of them are able to jump in. So while this girl bumped the other girl out the way and this girl over here going through some shit, she done gave up and fell out on the ground and somebody tripping over her, right? If you think about it like a marathon, she done fell up and gave on the ground and somebody tripping over her, and then this girl over here done passed out and all these other people paying attention to her. You right here in your own lane with these blinders on and you just moving. Can't nobody get in your way. Can't nobody slow you down. Can't nobody fuck you up but yourself. And that comes from strategy, intention, and knowing first and foremost who your ideal submissive is. Coach T said, when you asked about what you do and your ideal sub talk about, the first thing I thought was books. Exactly. Exactly. It's time to start writing, honey. It's time to start writing. All right, now let me catch up in these comments. What should I say? Or what should we say when they ask how much to tribute? $1,000. How much money do you need? You need 50, you need 100, you need 1,000. You really shouldn't be asking for less than $1,000 because, I mean, shit. If you asking how much I want, give it all to me. Fuck. How much to send? Send all of it. Sell your fucking house and give me every fucking thing. Sell your house, cash out your 401k, fucking rob a bank and give me all that shit. But unless you can do that, send me whatever you feel like is a representation of who you are as a man. Because the man who feels like his first impression is $50 and the man who feels like his first impression is $1,000 going to be two different types of people. They're going to have two different types of thinking, living, doing. So if he asks how much to send me 1,000. And if you ain't got 1,000, send me what you got. And I'll let you know if it's enough. That's how you make more money as a dom. That's what's called a wallet drain. When a sub asks how much and he sends 100, and you say, oh, okay, that's not enough, more. And he sends another 100, that's not enough, more. And he does it 10 times. Now you got $1,000. That's what's called a wallet drain in financial domination. But here's the kicker that I want you to still remember in the background. While doing wallet drains like that are fun, when subs do 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, it's fun, it's interactive, it's engaging. But if you don't pay attention to the overarching message of it all, if he could send you $100 10 times, right? 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 6, 7, 8, 900, 1,000 in a span of 5-10 minutes. In the name of Goddess, we're gonna do a wallet drain for fun. If you let that pump your head up, what's gonna go over your head like a Spirit Airlines plane is the fact that he could have sent you $1,000 the first time. He didn't have to do it 100, 100, 100 and hope that at some point you was going to be like, ooh, this is so much. That's enough. If he could send $100 10 times, he could have sent you $1,000 the first time. Don't let that part go over your head just because you're riding the high that comes with being a financial dominatrix. Because that is true. There's a certain level of a high that comes from being a financial dominatrix. One of the terms that people more commonly use is sub drop, the energy that your submissive feels after you do your sessions. This like, oh my God, this session is so great and now it's over and I'm decompressing. Some subs have that dopamine hit and then they drop from it very, very quickly. Doms go through the same thing. It's called dom drop. And if you allow yourself to be blinded by the glitz and the glam and the gassing up of him sending you tributes and tributes and tributes, you're not going to pay attention to what really is happening. If he could send you $100 10 times, he could have sent you $1,000 the first time. And if you had $1,000 to spend in the first place, you probably got more than $1,000 to really spend. So if I let you chump change me and do 100, 100, 100, and then I act like I'm not smart enough to say I'm not satisfied with that, I might not even really know that you got $2, $3, $4, $5 more $1,000 that you could probably give me and that I should have been able to take from you. That I should have been able to take from you. So when it comes to how much to tribute, your minimum should be $1,000. We don't put the terms minimum tribute on our social media. We don't put the terms minimum tribute in our bio. But if a motherfucker asks, the answer is a minimum of $1,000. Do you tell him minimum of $1,000? No. You say $1,000. That's the minimum to keep in your mind. Do you tell him the words minimum? No. But you, in your mind, need to know that your minimum should be a stat. Because otherwise, what the fuck are you even doing? This is a $1 billion industry. Billion with a B. You're not a cheap hoe. You're not the EBT of financial dominatrix, of domination. We damn sure don't take food stamps or afterpay. So give me 1,000. Does that stop a man? Hear me out. Does that stop a man from sending you $50? Does that mean that I don't take $50 tributes? Does that mean I don't take $25 tributes? Does that mean men can't pay for me to, have a lunch? Does that mean men don't send me small tributes and small gift cards? No, they absolutely do. But you don't see me hooting and hollering about that shit, or bragging about it on social media, or taking screenshots and posting it like, look who sent me $25. I'm quiet. That was some chump change. Thanks for the tip. You sent it to me. That was cute. I'm not even going to acknowledge that sub. He's not going to get a message from me after sending me $25. He's not going to get 5 minutes of my time to DM me for $25. It was a tip. That's it. That's all. No acknowledgement. Because the fact that I have the fact that I've created an opportunity for him to give me the money is what I'm giving him in exchange. That's what you got to understand about financial domination. It's not a, what do I get as the man? I'm giving you the opportunity to be a man. I'm giving you the opportunity to provide. I gave you the opportunity to send me that measly ass $25. Because that's clearly all the fuck you could afford with your broke ass. And I'm not going to talk to you. And the next time you want to send me some fucking money, you need to make sure that your grown ass get the fuck up and go do some overtime so that you can book a session with me. Because you're not getting any access to me. But your $25 definitely hit my account. Okay, so I'm not saying that you can't take tributes under $1,000, but if somebody's asking you how much should I send, you should be saying $1,000. What you gonna do with $25 anyway? Shit. You can't do nothing with that. And why are you letting them disrespect you? You think a man that's two, 3 times your age really only got $100 to his name? Baby, if he only got $100 to his name for real, you need to go ahead and let him be. That man is homeless. You think an 80-year-old man, 70-year-old man, 40-year-old man only got $500 to his name? And then after he give you a couple hundred, that he gonna eat peanut butter and jelly for the rest of the month, you smoking. And you smoking some other shit. You ain't smoking that good shit. You smoking Reggie. You ain't smoking no gas, bitch. You smoking dog shit. You smoking Reggie Miller. You got to be. Because think about it. Your ideal client, your ideal submissive, and it's going back to that example, your ideal submissive is financially stable, right? He has enough disposable income to give you this money and not be hurt by it, right? You and your sub, unless you also just so happen to be a fucking trust fund baby, because there's some girls that do this shit and they rich. I know some bitches that's trust fund babies that was born into money and got money and get a whole bunch of money every single month. They don't need to do this, but they do. I know some girls that's like that, that's doing this. Unless you her, you're not gonna be in the same tax bracket as your sub. Not in the beginning stages. Your sub is going to be in a greater tax bracket than you. Your sub's going to have more money than you. He's going to have greater access to opportunities than you. He might have a better professional career than you. That's the whole point of the dynamic that you're in. He's more powerful, he's more wealthy, he's more successful. And the part that makes it sexy, kinky, fun is that powerful motherfucker, rich motherfucker is getting down on his knees for you. Because you, even though you are not richer, you are not wealthier, you may not have the same professional background, something about you still is confident and powerful and intelligent and dominant. And he is respecting that and he is responding to that energy within you as the divine feminine and getting down on his fucking knees and giving you the money. But yeah, he's going to be richer than you and probably a little smarter than you and a little bit more successful. That's why it's attractive. Because otherwise, this would be your boss. Otherwise, this would be the CEO of your 9 to 5. Otherwise, this would be your sugar daddy and he would be telling you what to do. That's what the appeal is. That this powerful man who's in the oil industry, who's a politician, who's a lawyer, who's a doctor, who has all of that shit going on, is powerful behind, in the public eye and is powerful in business and powerful in his career, but behind closed doors, he's on the ground kissing your feet. That's what makes financial domination so attractive. And if you don't realize who it is that you're talking to, because again, you don't have a clear picture, or you don't know, or you're too scared to ask, or you're too scared to demand more, you're gonna leave money on the table. And baby, we can't keep leaving money on the table, because I feel like we should be asking, especially as Black women. I mean, come on, I ain't even get into that portion of it. I feel like as Black women, we deserve $15,000 a month minimum. I feel like that should be a standard. I don't feel like as Black doms, we should be having conversations about, oh, you gotta work 2-3 times harder than white girls. Oh, Black doms don't get paid that much. I feel like the standard should be that as a Black dom, a new sub approach you $1,000. Hi, goddess, nice to meet you. My name is XYZ. I sent you $1,000. I'm just trying to introduce myself. I feel like that should be the standard, the minimum. But we can't, as a community, as an industry, as big as our community is, we on the same page, but not everybody else is. We can't get to that where it becomes an industry norm for new doms to charge $1,000 or get $1,000 or make more than $1,000 in a day if girls is still insecure and only charging $40, only charging $50, only charging $5 a month. We can't get there if y'all lowballing. We can't get there. We can't get there. It's about being high value. What about financial domination? What if every man's not rich? Okay. Financial domination is not for every man. This is for a specific kind of man. What, you gonna be the budget bitch? Everybody gonna make $1,000. You gonna be the bitch that offer a discount? How you look? Let's talk about it. You want to be the girl that's charging $1,000 like everybody else, or you want to be the only one that's the budget bitch? And the cheap subs come to you because all of us said we not gonna take less than $1,000, and you over here like a pick me with daddy issues, like, oh my god, I can't believe that they're charging you $1,000. I'll do it for $50. All you have to do is send me a $200 to help me pay my rent. Which one you want to be? Which one you want to be? You want to be the broke hoe or the rich hoe? Either way, you're going to be a hoe, but you want to be broke or you want to be rich? Or you want to be dumb? Broke, rich, or dumb? Like I said, these men are going to be a little bit more savvy than you are. Even if they pumping your head full of shit, talking about, oh, Goddess, you own me. Goddess, I'm so controlled by you. I'm so this, I'm so that. They be telling them that shit. They be, oh my God. And some of y'all be eating it up sometimes. You can't let that shit pump your head up. You have to be strategic about everything you do. All of this shit is a finesse. All of this shit is a finesse. Having to depend on a bare minimum man pushed me into this industry. Exactly. So if you've been dealing with a bare minimum man, set your standard for much higher. I done felt that. Who hasn't at some point dealt with a bare minimum man? You don't deserve the bare minimum. This is not your 9 to 5 where you can only make minimum wage $15 an hour. This is not your broke ass boyfriend where he can only afford to do the bare minimum or go 50-50 with you. These men in financial domination have the ability to change your life if you have the right kind of relationships with them and you are savvy enough and confident enough to demand it. What should one tweet to make one look good? I'm catching up in the comments. It said it's like 42 new comments, so y'all gonna have to give me a second. What should one tweet to make one look good? You should be tweeting as if you're talking to your ideal submissive. Right? So I know, a few lives ago, we did this like live example when I was like, well, some of y'all might have, let's say, for example, it's a funny example, but I said, say your ideal submissive is a 95-year-old man with erectile dysfunction. He can't get it up. And all y'all do is talk on the phone for a few hours a month, just to check in with each other. And he sends you some of his pension and he sends you money from his 401k and stuff like that. But he's old, he's sweet. Y'all talk about history. Y'all read books with each other. He too old to do anything, with you because he got ED. So it ain't going nowhere. Y'all not, doing sessions and stuff like that, even if you were comfortable with it or not comfortable with it. But let's say, for example, that is your ideal submissive. You need to tweet then, and you need to now talk on social media as if you're talking, subtweeting that person. Ooh, ain't it so embarrassing that your dick don't work? But I'm still taking money from you anyway. Whatever, fill in the blanks. But when you see your ideal submissive and you think about who that man is, what kind of things he likes and what kind of stuff y'all talk about, now as far as what to tweet, how to target that person, now you speak as if you're talking to that man. And what you will attract is all of the different men who think you talking about him. Even though you're talking about everybody who fits a specific description, you're going to attract men who specifically align with what you're saying because they going to feel like you talking straight to them. That's how you find them. That's how you market. That's how you talk. That's what you should tweet on social media. What if you aren't interested in dudes? Sorry, I was eating popcorn earlier. There are women who are in this industry. There is such thing as a female submissive. However, I have not seen female submissives in financial domination. Most of the subs you will come across will be men. So if you're not sexually interested in men, or you feel like you don't want to talk to men and be around men, you would be targeting women, but probably not getting paid for it. There are women who enjoy female domination. There are women who want to be dominated by another woman, but I've not come across another woman who wants to give her money to a woman. I wouldn't personally do it. So it's mostly men. And if you're not comfortable with that, or find the alternative of trying to figure it out and try to find women who are willing to pay, if you're not willing to put the research into that, then this just may not be for you, and that's okay. All right, I'm catching up. Now it's time to do an unblock fee. Right, I don't do unblock fees either. I feel like if you violate my boundaries, or if you piss me off to the point that I feel like you need to be blocked, there's no coming back from that. I don't do unblock fees. And then on top of that, even if you did block the sub, there's nothing that's going to stop him from making a second account that you don't know about and just following you from that account and not saying anything. So the punishment of blocking him isn't necessarily doing what you think it's doing. He's just going to be sneakier, or he's going to make a different account that you don't know of and still be watching you, and then pretend to be someone else and say, oh, well, he said he was John the first time and then he got blocked, and now it's a totally new page that's following you, and now he's saying that he's Steven, but it's really still John. So it's not really going to make a difference. If you feel like you've gotten to the point where a man has violated your boundaries, and you feel like you're to the point of cutting that person off and blocking them, let that be permanent. Because again, you're really still not going to stop him from, and you wouldn't even know if he made another account and was just secretly watching you. You wouldn't even know. You wouldn't know. So it's no point. If you've gotten to the point where I just need to be done with you, you're fucking done. It's no coming back from that. So basically, we need a relationship with them first. Absolutely. Think about it, for example, even the most submissive of men, would you put yourself in your sub's shoes? Would you give your paycheck, if some of y'all got paid today, would you give your entire paycheck to somebody you just met? The paycheck that you just got today, if you got paid today, are you willing right now in the next 30 seconds to give your money, your entire paycheck, to someone that you just met online? You've not talked to them. You don't have a relationship with them. You don't know 100% if this person is real or a scammer. Their Twitter page says that they just made their account in October of 2024. Would you give that person your entire paycheck today? Probably not. Your submissives are thinking the same thing. Even if you're very beautiful, even if they are very captivated by the way that you look, if they do not trust you or have some type of chemistry, relationship, connection to you, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And that's real. That's real. So, finna be the Bezos of Findom, period. If someone can't afford more than 25 pounds, he should be spending more wisely. Yes. And his ass probably needs to, instead of spending $25 and trying to talk to you, he needs to go buy a 5-minute video. That's why I said earlier, like I said, just because a man can't send me $1,000 doesn't mean I'm not going to take that $25. That $25 still holds value. It's just not enough for me to, hey, how you doing? Or, hey, what's your name? No. If you can only afford to spend $25 right now, you're not going to be able to interact with me real time. But you can definitely swipe your card for that $25 and get a 5-minute pre-recorded video that I made 7 years ago. Because clearly that's all you can afford. right? So it's not like I'm saying, oh, turn down the money or don't do it or, oh, you can't take anything because duh, don't leave money on the table. I mean, if a motherfucker want to give you some money, fucking take his fucking money. But I'm just saying be smart with yourself as a businesswoman and put certain things into play so that you can gatekeep your time. The most important part and an aspect of you being a dom is putting an immense amount of value on your time. The more expensive it is to access you, the more difficult it is to access you, your voice, your real-time interaction, the more difficult, the more expensive it is for a man to get that, the more value you will have. Men think of, with their, Peter Weeders, and they think in the term of numbers. A man who only, got some attention from you for $50 is not going to give you the same, and it's just the truth. You might not like it, but it's the truth. He's not going to give you the same level of respect as the man who had to come out his pocket $10,000 before he got to talk to you. The man who had to came out his pocket $10,000 before he got to talk to you is going to be on his best fucking behavior. The one who only had to spend 25 is gonna want you to answer his messages fast as hell. He gonna want to text you all night long. He gonna get on your nerves. He gonna be needy. Goddess, ooh, look at me. I'm wearing panties. Oh, goddess, I hope you don't punish me. That's the one that want to send you $25. That's the one that's lowballing. But the one that sent you 10,000 is gonna be respectful. He not gonna call you all hours of the night. He gonna send you gifts. He gonna write you love letters. He gonna protect you. He gonna make sure you good. Why? Because he respects you. Because you made him get the fuck down on his knees and come out his pocket till it hurt. And when you make it hurt a little bit in their pockets, they put respect on that. Don't ask me why men are wired like that. That's just how men think. In a capitalist world, in a capitalist society, that's just how men are. The more they spend, the more it hurts, the more value and respect they will give you, the more perceived value and respect you will have. Yep. I need a $15,000 day. You deserve a $15,000 day. But you're not going to get to $15,000 if you only asking for 50. It's going to take you a whole year. It's some people that make $15,000 in a year working at Amazon. And there's some people that make $15,000 a day working as a financial dominatrix. But if you only asking for $50 a clip, it's going to take you a long ass time to get it. Pull out your calculator. $15,000 divided by 50 bucks. That's how many subs it's going to take for you to get it. $15,000 divided by 1. That's how much it's going to take for you to get it. It's possible. I want $500 hosiery. Oh my goodness. I like them big. I like them chunky. Do you do the interacting with doms and others game trains? I do not do game trains at all. An engagement group every now and then does not hurt, but I only typically engage with content creators who are similar to me. So it's not necessary to be in a bunch of retweet groups and stuff like that. And a lot of people feel like that's necessary because like, oh, well, how else will I get followers? You don't need a retweet in order for you to make money. You don't need a retweet in order for you to sell a clip. What you need is the buyer. Let me say that again. You don't need a retweet to sell something. You need the buyer, and you need to target the buyer. It don't matter if he retweet that shit. What matters is that he fucking paid. You can go through my page right now. I don't get any retweets, barely any. But you can also go through my fucking page and see that I'm still making money and clips is getting sold. That's what's most important. A lot of people get stuck in the trap of trying to chase the vanity of having a lot of followers, having a lot of retweets, having a lot of likes. It's people out here with followers that's store-bought. It's people out here with followers that they bought from Etsy and they pour. And it's people out here with less than 1,000 followers, less than 10,000 followers, only 10,000 followers, and they still make 6, 7 figures because from the jump, they weren't focused on, well, I have to have the vanity, I have to have the illusion of popularity by getting a bunch of followers so that people think, oh, well, she got a lot of followers, she must be popular. No, ma'am. So it's not about getting retweets, it's about targeting the buyer. And as long as you can target the buyer with your marketing, your clear understanding of who your submissive is, what kind of things he likes, and you speak to that, you will always attract that person. You also have to think about it. Most of the men who are actually genuinely submissive that you may come across on, let's say, for example, Twitter, those kinds of men are not going to have Twitter pages dedicated. Most of them won't. Some of them might, but most of them won't. They're not going to have Twitter pages dedicated to them being pay pigs. Most of the men that you will talk to that will send you the most amount of money don't spend time tweeting about the fact that they are a pay pig. Think about it. If a man who's also outside of this industry is a CEO of a Fortune 500 company, do you think that that motherfucker has enough time in his day to sit on Twitter for 8 hours tweeting about the fact that he pays women? No. That man is very busy. And more than likely, what you'll find is as you continue to grow and elevate, is that most of the subs that you're going to talk to are actually behind vanilla social media pages. Vanilla, for those of you who don't know, vanilla is the term that we use in this industry to describe someone who is not in our industry. Someone who is a regular civilian. They're not into financial domination. They're not in the adult content world. They're not in the adult entertainment at all. They're not a customer. They're not a creator. They are a normal ass person that you just met at Walmart. That's a vanilla. That's a civilian. Most of the subs that you're going to come across are actually going to be using personal social medias. They're not going to have social medias dedicated specifically to them being pay pigs, sugar daddies. I'm trying to send $50 to a girl right now. Who can I send to? Comment down below and I'm going to send to you. They don't do stuff like that. They're interested in connection. They're going to spend a lot of time on your social media studying you way before they reach out. In my data and research, most submissives take at least 90 days of following you on social media, looking at all your posts, seeing like the kind of content that you have, what kind of stuff that you talk about. Most subs on average, when they are genuine and really interested in you, on average, the data suggests that they spend 90 days doing research on you, watching you, following you on social media before they ever actually attempt to reach out and talk to you, to book a session, to buy a clip. They want to feel connected to you. They want to know that she's doing this because she enjoys it. This person is consistent, right? This person isn't, oh, just some girl that made a Findom page and then disappeared after a few weeks because it was harder than she thought, or she wasn't, that interested in it. She just thought it was going to be quick cash. So, woof, I dodged the bullet from spending my hard-earned money on somebody that was just going to disappear. Most of them spend at least 90 days looking at you, researching you, watching you before they ever reach out, interact, spend money. And if you're not consistent and you only show up out of 90 days because you thinking, oh, well, I'm not getting any traction. I'm only people just watching me. Nobody's saying anything. And now all of a sudden you stop posting content. You stop being consistent. You stop showing up. You done shot yourself in the foot. You don't know how many people that's already watching you right now that want to spend money on you. You don't know. I don't even want to give my kids my entire paycheck. Funny as shit. Exactly. So if you don't even want to give it to your kids or spend it on no bills, you don't even want to give the money to your bills. Right? So you gotta think about it. A man gonna be the same way. What the fuck? What you mean? I'm supposed to just give you my check because your ass is cute. Okay, it's cute girls all over here. What you mean I'm supposed to give you my check because you got ass and titties? Okay, my wife got ass and titties too. Mm. Matter of fact, I can go as a man, right? Because that's what they saying. It's niggas that's got ass and titties these days. Shit, you can buy ass and titties off of Amazon. So you gonna have to come harder than that. So it's like, be realistic. Are you doing enough that's really making men want to send you money? Because they got to do it. It's not just, I'm so submissive that anybody could just come and get it from me. That's a little naive to think that a man would be so submissive he just going to give himself and his money to just any bitch that walked through the door. That's a fucking idiot. He wouldn't dare do that. 6-figure CEOs, 7-figure CEOs, Fortune 500 CEOs and executives ain't fucking dumb. They smart as hell. How the fuck you think they got to that position? So you're going to have to come a little harder. You're going to have to put a little work in. You're going to have to figure out how to target this person, how to create some content, how to set yourself up so that you're not constantly online. You're not constantly creating content because you got streams of income and clips that you can sell, over and over and over and over again that can still make you money. You got to think about this as a strategy and as a business. As a strategy and as a business. And when you think with this and you move with strategy and you move with as an entrepreneur, you will align with people who match that energy. You're going to align with people who match that energy. You don't even have to, most people don't even use hashtags on Twitter anymore because now the algorithms are becoming more intuitive, right? The hashtags aren't required on Instagram, TikTok, or even Twitter anymore because the keywords that you're using are now considered SEO or search engine optimization. So some of the reasons why, even in this page, I tell you guys all the time, this page is going to be 90 days old on the 21st of this month, this weekend. Or next week. Take it how it resonates. I don't know when the fuck it is. I know today's the 18th. You can fill in the blanks. On the 21st, this page will be officially 90 days old. And I'm already at 10,000 followers. I don't use any hashtags in any of my posts. The reason why you kept seeing me on your For You page is because the captions and the words I would put in my videos were keywords that put me in the algorithm, put me in the search bar, got me on your For You page. So you don't need to use hashtags like that anymore. I still do teach certain strategies for marketing purposes. You should be able to, ideally you should create your own hashtag. So for me, I created hashtag AfroDomme, hashtag Fund the Kinky Coach, hashtag Delete Your Verification Video. All of those things are hashtags that I personally created so that I could brand myself. If you go to hashtag AfroDomme, you're going to see a bunch of our stuff and a bunch of other women that are, part of our community. If you go to hashtag Fund the Kinky Coach, you're going to find a bunch of my shit on Twitter. If you go to hashtag Delete Your Verification Video on Twitter, you're going to see a bunch of that too. So you can use hashtags with strategy, but it is not required for you to put hashtags in every single post. Just make sure that you are very intentional in the way that you speak. Because again, you should be tweeting as if you're subtweeting your ideal client. You're subtweeting your ideal sub. And the keywords that you're using should put yourself in front of those gentlemen. So let's go back to the example about the targeting a type of sub who had ED, erectile dysfunction. If you were to say something about erectile dysfunction in your tweet, make something creative. Talk about erectile dysfunction, tease them for having erectile dysfunction, say something in the tweet about it. If you do it right, the algorithm will put you on the For You page of every man who's ever Googled the words erectile dysfunction on his phone, right? You know how it works. When you Google something on your phone and now all of a sudden all over your social media are different ads for the shit that you Googled 10 minutes ago, that's called search engine optimization. That's how the internet works these days. And in order for you to put yourself in front of the right people, you have to be using the right keywords to target those people. And in order to target those people, you have to first, again, main point, know who the fuck you're talking to. This is the stuff that makes, this is the stuff that separates the broke girls from the ones who are successful, y'all. We started this conversation, or at the height of this conversation, there was 67 people in here. I'm not worried about the numbers, but I'm going to make a point for a second. The most people we've had in this live for the last 90 minutes was 67 people. Now it's 43. 43 of you found the information valuable enough and you were paying attention closely enough to stay for the whole live. You also have a certain level of tenacity in yourself as a professional, or you just have the attention span to pay attention. Now it's 41 of you, right? It went from 67 to 47 to 43 to 41 to 40. It will continue to decrease because at the end of the day, some of y'all not going to be successful in this. Some of y'all going to be like, all right, well, the last 90 minutes, she did share a lot of valuable information, but now that makes me feel like this is too much and I can't do it. Some of y'all going to try to do it. Some of y'all have watched just for the sake of entertainment. Some of you have taken notes, and the information that you've gotten from this will either help you go a lot further from today or help you continue learning and developing so that you have a greater understanding of what this is. But out of the 67 of us that started, only 40 of us are left. Those other people have either left because they have something genuinely else to do. They at work, they, got some other pretty excuse, or they realized this is way too much this is much more than I thought, and I'm not capable of doing it. Some of the 42 of you that's in here now will still figure that out as well. And it's no shade in either direction which person you end up being. No shade in either direction if you're the person that takes this information and runs with it, or if you're the person that realizes this is much more than I thought and I don't really think I can commit to doing this. No shade either way. But that's just the reality of what's going to happen after I close this live in a few minutes. Those of you who take this information and run with it have the potential to be fucking successful. And you can always click the link in my bio and take a class and connect with me in that instance, of course. But there are some people who will always tune in, who will always watch, who will always listen, but who will never go anywhere with the information. You don't have to say it in the comments, but be real with yourself. Which one are you going to be? And take the information how it resonates. Dominant is not for the weak. I got to stay focused. This was honestly very helpful. I feel like I've been stuck, but now I have guidance. I'm glad this is definitely helpful for you. Cleaning up my social media as we speak. Love it, love it, love it. I'm on my laptop, took notes. Love it, love it, love it. Yes to the professionalism. You're a very helpful queen. Thank you so much. No problem. Thank you for tuning in. Good afternoon from the Pacific Northwest. Do you think you should be focusing on building up social media presence before making fan sites, etc.? Absolutely. The reason why you want to build up your social media presence before you move on to starting your loyal fans account, starting your OnlyFans account, starting your I Want Clips is because all of those 3 platforms that I mentioned require you to already have a client base, to already have an audience. Because just because you have a I want clips or a loyal fans doesn't mean people are going to subscribe. You need to get them to subscribe. And if you don't have a social media that's already making people interested in you, that is like, there's a demand for it, right? Business is about supply and demand. There's no demand for you to have an I want clips page or a loyal fans or a night flirt or an OnlyFans, then again, you're going to be burning yourself out, because you're going to be pushing out all of this content and nobody's buying it because you don't have an audience yet. And you're going to be spreading yourself way too thin when you're new. I was going to say young, but when you're new and you're still trying to figure everything out, you're still in the drawing board phase, you're still in the creation phase, the business development phase, the growth phase. So you absolutely want to focus on building up one social media presence. I suggest Twitter, not Instagram, not TikTok. You can use TikTok as a Dom, but you have to be very strategic about the way that you do it. I typically teach Doms to use TikTok for UGC creation content and like wig influencer content and stuff like that. But financial domination specifically, you should be on Twitter. Build up that Twitter till you have at least 1,000 followers. At that point, you'll be probably making some money by then. And then there'll be a demand, so to speak, for you to then start selling content, start pushing your monthly subscription platform. So yes, absolutely. In order to continue making sure that you don't burn yourself out and you create a solid brand for yourself and you have that what the fuck was that? What was that? Oh, okay. It was a bead from my sleeve fell off and hit my shoe. I was like, thought something fell off the wall. But yeah, if you want to create a brand for yourself, you want to create an image for yourself, and you want to have that recognition, you want to focus on building up your social media presence to at least 1,000 followers first. And that is able to be done with a certain level of consistency, right? I would suggest maybe posting on Twitter 3 to 5 times a day. Pictures of yourself out and about looking good, right? This is not for the girls that sit in the house and don't do shit. You know, reuse some of the content that you have. That outfit, you know, when you was out and about and you was out getting drinks, share that picture as a financial domination, a dominatrix. Share the picture of you or a video of you out shopping. You know, share that. Tweet like you, again, are subtweeting your ideal submissive. But do that maybe 3 to 5 times a day. And when you do it with a certain level of creativity and you're not shit posting and just posting random things, you will attract people who are aligned with what you're putting out. And then once you have that, there's now a demand for you to now have that monthly subscription, because people are going to be asking you for it. Goddess, do you sell clips? Goddess, how can I book a session? Goddess, I wish I could talk to you. How can I do it? That's your sign. Let me go put out some clips. Let me set up the account. Let me start moving. Because now there's a demand for it and I'm not burnt out. I got the traction. I know who I'm talking to, and I can, again, because I've done the work to dig a lane for myself, boom, I can now hit the ground running and take off. I can hit the ground running and take off. Cleaning up the spicy socials. Can't wait to the next live. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks to Findom and educating before practice. What about Reddit? I have never used Reddit before, so I don't talk about things that I have never done. I know everybody is not going to say that, but I don't talk about things I've never done or I've never had experience with. So I've never used Reddit before as a financial dominatrix. If you are using it and you want to share some valuable insight, definitely do that. But me personally, I've never used Reddit. Do I think being verified on Twitter will help with interactions? No, I don't want to give my money to Elon. I'm not verified on Twitter. I done had that Twitter for longer than Elon and owned that fucking company. I'm not giving my money to Elon. Should I still have a verification video with my voice? No. Because at the end of the day, a verification video is a scam. The whole point of, like I said earlier when I was talking about hashtags, My hashtag delete your verification video, hashtag delete your verification video, that's on Twitter. Hashtag delete your verification video explains a little bit more about that. However, verification videos are a scam. That's how men get free content out of you. And you may be thinking, what's the content in me saying, my name is Ekua Ahima, I'm the kinky coach, this is my verification video? What are they getting out of that? They're getting free content out of you. And you may think that it's not sexual, and you may think you're only saying your name, but this is what they're doing to the video. So by creating a verification video, this is what you're giving them, a free sample to do this too. When you're on platforms like Loyal Fans, Night Flirt, OnlyFans, you provide them your tax information and legal ID. That's how you verify yourself as a creator, nothing else. When you're on a platform like Loyal Fans, OnlyFans, Night Flirts, and you provide them your social security number and your driver's license for those tax records, and they verify that you are a legitimate person and you are over the age of 18. My personal rule is 21. All of these platforms will say you need to be over 18. That's just a totally different discussion. But that's how you verify yourself. Nothing else. You don't send no man your ID. You don't make no verification video. You don't post no verification video. That's how you verify yourself, by going through a paywall platform, a third-party paywall platform, and signing up, giving them your driver's license, filling out that tax information. That is proof that you are an adult, who you claim to be, right? You're not a scammer. You're not AI. You're not a man pretending to be a woman with some fake pictures that you stole, because I Want Clips has your social and your driver's license. That's where they can contact you. That's where they can send you a tip. That's where they can buy a clip. That's it. You don't need anything else. And thank you for dropping your knowledge. I love all your videos, keeping it real. Thank you for joining us. So speak now and forever hold your peace with these questions. The last thing I'm going to leave you with is this. Somebody asked me about sub-archetypes. The last thing I'm going to leave you with is this. When it comes to men, you have to be really careful about who you're talking to. There's a such thing as a fetishist, a hobbyist, a salt daddy, a Splenda daddy, and a whale sub, and a genuine submissive. Genuine submissive man is someone who wants to build a relationship with you. He is invested in getting to know you. He does not care that you ask for money or you're charging money. He doesn't care how much it costs to spend on you. His priority is getting to know you, establishing chemistry with you, and building a connection to you. A genuine submissive. A pay pig, otherwise known as a fetishist or a hobbyist, is someone who bounces around from dom to dom to dom to dom to dom for fun. He's not looking for building a genuine connection with anybody. He's looking for this. And if it's you tomorrow and her the next day and her the next day, that's what he's after. I've already done a video like this on YouTube as well. It's just for my internal students, so that's why you guys don't see it. That's a pay pig, that's a hobbyist, that's a fetishist. Someone who is a community sub, not someone worth your time, not someone that you should, invest your time into getting to know. Take his money, pass him to your fucking homegirl. Do not claim, right? Like Monopoly, do not claim 200, pass, go straight to jail, right? We don't claim pay pigs. We don't claim community subs. We don't claim fetishes. We don't claim hobbyists. Those men like to jump from dom to dom to dom. They're not looking for a connection. So when you ask them questions and you're trying to get to know them, they're going to give you surface level answers. Or they're going to, when they book a session with you, they're going to want to get straight into the, ooh, goddess, make me do this. And ooh, goddess, tell me to do that. They're going to get straight into the spicy part of it. You can tell that that's either a man that's very comfortable with you or more than likely somebody that's looking for a get off. I'm not saying that you can't have fun with that person. I'm not saying that you shouldn't take that person's money. But I am saying that you need to know the difference so that you don't wind up trying to spend your time getting to know someone who never intended to have a long-term connection with you. They're a community sub. Take the time that it takes to do a session, charge them as much as fucking possible, and move the fuck on. For those of you who are sugar babies or dominant sugar babies, a genuine sugar daddy wants to build a relationship with you. He's not going to DM you or comment on a post on TikTok or Twitter saying, I'm a legit sugar daddy looking for an honest sugar babe, DM me. He's not going to do that. A genuine one would not do that. Because a genuine one wants to build a relationship with you, a connection, chemistry. A salt daddy, a Splenda daddy are the ones who only spend less than $600 a month, because $600 a month is not any money at all. You cannot survive off of $600 a month. You cannot. But a Splenda daddy, a fake sugar daddy, one of these little scammers, they're not going to want to really build a relationship with you. They are going to be very self-interested, selfish. They're not going to want to spend a lot of money. And you're going to be able to tell that they make a lot of money. Or you're going to be able to tell that they broke and just pretending. Because a lot of men, because being a sugar baby, because being a financial dominatrix, because that's become more popular, men are paying attention to the fact that that's becoming popular too. They want to live the lifestyle, right? Why wouldn't you, as a man whose natural instinct is to provide, why wouldn't you want to do that for a beautiful woman? Why wouldn't you, as a man, fantasize about becoming a millionaire so that you can finally afford the girl of your dreams? All men want that. And some men are desperate enough to try to get the lifestyle before they can afford it. So you gonna have some men that work at Amazon. You gonna have some men that only make $50,000 a year. You gonna have some men that's broke as fuck trying to chase a rich man's dream, pretending to be sugar daddies, pretending to be financially submissive. But again, going back to the first point today, when you have a clear picture in your head about who your ideal submissive is, you will be able to tell now, is this person full of shit or not? Mwah. Love you guys. See you in the next video. YouTube, stick around because the replay for today's conversation will be coming up shortly.